Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat for Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we start off with the news of this episode. Michael McDowell won his first career race in Martinsville. He also won Driver of the Day after being in the sport for over 10 years. He finally gets career win number 1. Front Row Motorsports has 2 wins this season with Matt Tifton and McDowell, more than they had total in their whole career coming into this season. Gary Owen has been rumored to be in talks with Chip Ganassi Racing, so keep an eye on that. And Kyle Busch has finally gotten back in the top 10 for his second top 10 of the season. Is he finally turning things around after a subpar start to the season? And now we have the Xfinity Series here in Texas, where we had subscriber Tyler Wall in the car as he went down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Texas, usually a track that doesn't go great for us. As you can see, a little bit different color scheme on the car. It was purple and yellow, as you could guess who it was for. It's obviously just a little bit of a tribute here for Kobe Bryant, who we lost with obviously his daughter and several others on that helicopter crash last week. So very unfortunate for what happened with that, so I decided to do a tribute paint scheme for him. And unfortunately, Tyler came home in P27 after just kind of one of those rough races here in Texas. Now as we came through into qualifying for the Cup Series, we hit a 29.731 and we qualified P19 here for Texas. So a pretty decent qualifying effort considering how we usually do on speed, and we got Kurt Busch on the pole.
Today, the stars of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series stampede into Texas Motor Speedway for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500. Another great day for racing. So let's head right down to the track.
All right, thank you, Rick Allen. We're ready to go green here for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 at Texas Motor Speedway. The stories of the racer, Cody Ware has been dominant all weekend, so here he is with some speed. We've had some back markers showing some just random speed here this season, and maybe we could see Cody Ware up here. Maybe the top 5 is Daniel Hemrick. He is starting at the back after failing technical inspection as we get ready to go green here. So obviously not a good qualifying effort, but hopefully we can turn things around here later in this race. Now as the green flag is out, and we are underway. One of the longest mile-and-a-half races of the season. So definitely going to be a lengthy one. I think stage 1 is around 20 laps or so, if I'm not mistaken, as we go down towards turns 1. Maybe even be closer to 30 now, as Kurt Busch leads the way over Kyle Busch, the 2 Busch brothers who have finished 1-2 quite often in our career mode. Maybe they could be setting up to do the same thing here today as we clear Joey Logano down the back straight away. And it's actually, it is a 20-lap stage. And now as we go up the inside of Michael McDowell, who won last episode in Martinsville. So already from P19, up 5 positions on this opening lap to P14 as we come through the trial. Well, Kurt Busch leads us first in opening lap. Now as we get to the back of Austin Dillon, give him a little bit of a shot to the bumper as we go down into turns 1. He's going to go up the inside of Ryan Newman. He's 3 wide with him and William Byron, who's all the way up at the wall now. And Chase Elliott gets to my inside now as he's showing some early speed as well as we go down this back straightaway. Keep in mind, last time we came to this racetrack in Texas, Chase Elliott got the win, so keep him in mind in this race as we came to lap 8 now, going down towards turns 1. And there goes the 19 who lost the back end up on the outside wall, and that's going to probably bring out a yellow as he's hard into the wall, sure enough. The caution comes out as we were running at this point in P13, so that would set us up for a caution. We did not make a pit stop, so we get right back into the action at this point. Kyle Busch had taken the lead from his brother of Kurt now as we go down towards the corner. So unfortunate for Martin Truex Jr., who's kind of been in the same situation as Kyle Busch. He's had a subpar start to the season. The only really fast JGR car we've seen so far is the 11 of Denny Hamlin. He's the one that's been consistent, kind of like he was in our rookie season of career mode. Last season wasn't a great one for Hamlin, but in our rookie season he was really fast, and it looks like he might be really fast again this season in season 3 of our Cup Series career there as we get up the inside of the 37 and the 24, 3 wide as we come through the triangle, crossing the line, 9 laps to go here in stage 1 as we go down into turns 1. Busher 3 wide in the middle, he did back out. We climbed up to P9 as we came to just 6 to go in the stage. Now as there's more trouble behind us again, it's the 47 of Ryan Preece who has some smoke coming out of the car. Looks like maybe a tire failure. He comes down into Brendan Gaughan, and as well as the 32 of Corey LaJoie. That brings out another caution, and this time we would pit for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, lose 1 position on the pit lane, and get ready once again to go back green as the green flag is out. And I should mention Martin Truex Jr. He brought out a caution earlier. He was still in this race. He stayed out under this last caution, so here he is leading with 3 laps to go in the first stage. Kyle Busch in P2. Can Truex somehow get this stage victory. We're about to find out within the next couple laps. It came through on lap 19, and sure enough, he did not hang on to the lead. Denny Hamlin would take that lead as he went down into turns 3. Truex, you can see him kind of on that outside lane, dropping back, but it looks like he's still definitely going to get some stage points as we were at this point approaching the final lap of this first stage. Behind us, 3 wide between Bowman, Elliott, and Larson as we cross the line. The white flag is in the air here in stage 1 now. Larson using that momentum on that outside lane. Hamlin still leads over second place Joey Logano. They both run that top lane now as we're side by side with Elliott as we exit turn 2. He wants to get the position as we're going to get to the inside of Stenhouse, kind of using Stenhouse as a pick to keep Elliott behind now as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in stage 1. Denny Hamlin is going to continue his early season just kind of top-notch speed with a stage 1 victory as Stenhouse gets us at the line, and we get P12. So no stage points for us here in stage 1. Truex gets the final stage point as Cody Ware is up there in P5. We definitely going to have to keep an eye on him, but we would not be pitting, but Truex would after staying out under the last yellow, so we would gain 1 position at the end of the stage, getting ready for stage 2. So this would set us up from the 11th starting position. Cody Ware up there in the top 5, and this has just kind of been an odd season, and I think that this has a good chance to carry on throughout the rest of this regular season. Almost, it's really weird because we had obviously Matt Tifft win the Daytona 500. Every Daytona 500 we've had in the career mode, we've had kind of a back marker win that race, and then we had Michael McDowell obviously at Martinsville, and then you could kind of consider Jimmy Johnson maybe to be a surprise winner from Auto Club now, as we know every season we've done in career mode he's been battling for that final spot in the playoffs, so it's not too much of a surprise, but either way I think this is shaking up to make a very interesting slash odd playoff grid if this keeps up now as we go down coming through to complete this first and opening lap of the second stage up the inside of Kyle Busch for JGR now as Denny Hamlin leads over Kurt Busch into turns 1. Elliott gets on my inside there, so once again I just kind of left a little hole open and Elliott just took the opportunity and ran with it. The short run speed in this car was not there because we dropped to P11 now as we came to lap 8, and we actually got another caution, so that's already the third caution of the day here early on in stage 2 as everyone would come to the pit lane. You see it was mixed at first, but at the end of just before I went to go green, everyone decided to come into the pit lane. So as well, I come to the pit lane and we're down at P18 because we had a handful of cars actually stay out here with 8 laps to go in stage 2. So this might certainly make for an interesting restart now, as we know how it goes when we have some slower cars up in front of the field now as we come through turns 1 and turns 2, trying to make sure we don't get taken 3 wide now as we exit the corner heading down this back straightaway. Stenhouse here in P18, Boyer in front of us. You see a little bit of a checkup, and that's definitely because of some slower cars with worn tires as we come through the center of the corner. Hamlin being held up quite considerably now as we come through out of turns 4, just in front of the 37 and the 24 of Busher and Byron as we come through to cross the line. A bit of a checkup right in front of us there as it was now as we hit 7 laps to go. Thankfully, we actually got on the brakes in time and didn't lose any ground or didn't lose too much ground as we're still about P17 or so now as we get to the outside of the 38 of David Reagan. No damage was picked up, thankfully, as well from that whole situation, as that certainly could have gone pretty wrong, as Alex Bowman at this point was leading, and then he lost the lead to Martin Truex Jr. William Byron gets on my inside as we exit turns 4, and now we're a little bit loose, and I corrected to the outside wall there. That was not on William Byron at all. He never even touched me. I was just a driver error on my part. So we dropped down quite significantly to the point where we came to the final lap, and we're only running P15 here in the second stage as Chase Elliott was leading the way down the back straightaway. Now Larson gets to my inside as just kind of on these fresh tires, I just can't get anything going against the AI as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4. Larson, he just blows right on past me into turns 3, so we drop another position as Hamlin, he had actually taken the lead from Elliott in turns 4, and it was going to be Hamlin winning the stage over Chase Elliott as we came through to cross the line down in P16. So certainly not what we wanted. No stage points here today for us now as Hamlin's the stage winner. Kyle Busch even passed Chase Elliott as it came to the line, as once again that we would pit for repairs on the car on the right side damage that we picked up, as well as take 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires. And you can see I was kind of messing with the wedge here and there. It's dropped down to 40, we dropped it down to 49.2, and I kept it there for now. But we're ready to go green for the third and final stage. Stage 3 is underway here in Texas, and you can see the lap count up in the top left, 39 laps. Like I said, one of the longest mile-and-a-half races here in the career mode on the season as we go down into turns 1. Kyle Busch leads the way. Danny Hamlin lost the lead on the pit lane, so unfortunate for him. And it was Almirola's going to get ahead of us. So Almirola and myself, both actually kind of 3 of our SHR cars have really been struggling today, I think. Myself, Almirola, Boyer haven't really been in the mix. Kevin Harvick. I think he's been up there the whole time. Now let's go up the inside of Eric Almirola now on the exit of turns 4. Eric Jones just behind us through the triangle now, so he's trying to move his way forwards as well as we cross the line, complete this first and opening lap of the third and final stage up the inside of the Richard Petty Motorsports driver of Bubba Wallace. Now as we come through the center of the corner, trying to not push him up too much there as we keep it clean as possible. Now as we exit turn 2, as he's going to fight back though on the outside as we go down this back straightaway, so he does not want to give it up quite yet now as we go down into the corner. It'd be nice if we could see Bubba Wallace run up front for one of these races now in our career mode as we exit the corner. So up to P16 at this point, you can see the gap in front of me, and we came to lap 50, couldn't quite run these guys down. Now with 34 laps to go, and behind us we got more trouble, more crashes. The 31, the 3, and the 48 all involved the 7-time champion of Jimmy Johnson. Heavy contact for him as that's going to bring out the caution on lap 50. Certainly been lots of yellows today here in Texas now as we would get right back into the action. No pit stops necessary under that caution, because if we pitted then we could not make it to the end of this race with 31 laps to go, being on the 3X wear as we go down towards turns 1. Bowman and Jones just behind us. Kyle Busch continues to lead the way. So unfortunate for the 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson getting collected in that incident now, as once again after he won that Auto Club he's kind of been struggling the last couple races, and we would get to the inside lane here on lap 55 and get under Byron and Bowman, and then the 11 of Denny Hamlin, he had actually taken the lead back. We've seen Hamlin lead a lot of laps today, and we're going to see if he can hang on for these final 30 or so laps, as Kyle Busch was actually getting to the inside of him through turns 3 and turns 4, but I was just waiting on a long run. We came to lap 58, we'd gotten to the inside of the 10 of Almirola, as well as we would sneak up the inside of the 37 of Chris Buescher, but like I said, I was just hoping the long run would happen and we wouldn't really get any caution, because I felt like this car excelled the most against AI on the longer run. So like I said, just hoping that we would kind of get a green flag run, maybe all the way to the end of this race if possible. Kind of lap 63, we had been running P13, struggling to close that gap to the cars up ahead, but the tires were starting to come in. We were starting to close the gap. Sure enough, you see that gap get even smaller as it came through on lap 64, and then lovely, a caution comes out again here in Texas, and Kyle Busch at this point was leading, and we would pit for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, and the fuel would be enough to get to the end of this race. So unless we crash, we will be pitting again. So this caution kind of messes up what I was hoping would happen, but there's not much we can do about it now, as I know a lot of people really don't like these kind of scripted AI cautions, but personally I love the scripted AI cautions. It keeps things from getting boring, because I remember back in like NASCAR 14, NASCAR 15, they didn't have scripted cautions in the game. The only time you had cautions was just with the glitchy AI causing issues, and I always got really bored in those races because we didn't have stages and it just went green the whole time unless you crashed someone, and that was to me really boring. So I love scripted AI cautions, I'm just going to admit it now. And either way though, we climbed up to P12 as came to lap 74, passing Eric Jones. The car felt a little more speedy in these final 10 laps or so because I dropped the wedge down. Now once again though, there's trouble behind with the 43 of Bubba Wallace, and he might collect Alex Bowman. No, he doesn't. He hits Ryan Newman and a few other cars, but that's going to bring out another caution. That's what caution number 6, I believe, on the day. Once again, we get right back into the action from P12 as there was no pit stop necessary. Now, less than 10 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway, 7 to be exact. Blaney and Truex there in front of us. Kyle Busch, he was leading the way on the back straightaway. Now we went 3 wide between Byron and Blaney, just being aggressive as I can. If we can get a top 10 out of this, I'm going to be pretty thrilled. It's kind of shaping up to be similar to last time we came to this track, where we didn't run really in the top 10 all day, but then in the final laps we get into the top 10. Sure enough, we come to lap 79, still running P12, trying to hold off Eric Jones, but at this point Chase Elliott had taken the lead. Like I said earlier, he won this race last time out, and he looks to do so by going back to back again here in Texas as we come through turns 1 on lap 81. Logano had taken the lead as we had finally worked our way into the top 10, passing Kevin Harvick, our SHR teammate, the champion of the team, as we go up the inside of Kurt Busch. Now up to P9 as we go down into turn 3, even getting up the inside of William Byron. So all of a sudden, we have got some speed in this car as Cody Ware runs P6 as we're 3 wide with Byron and Truex as we exit turns 4 through this travel, going into the grass a little bit there as we come through across the line. And again, we got more trouble. The David Reagan, the 38 car, goes spinning hard into the outside wall. Heavy contact there, as that's once again going to bring out a caution. Caution number 7 of the day, and this forces overtime. Caution or wreck fest to say the least here today at Texas Motor Speedway. Now as overtime is underway, we start P9. Where can we get to here in these final couple laps? Joey Logano tries to hang on for, I believe this would be his first win of the season if I'm not mistaken, or is it win number 2? I can't remember. Either way, he's got pressure from Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin right on him here as we come through turns 1 and turns 2. Cody Ware just trying to hang on to a top 10 if he can. Now as we're going to take it 3 wide though with Martin Truex Jr. and Cody Ware as we go down into turn 3. It looks like Cody might get clear of the 19. Hard to tell now as he went down into the corner. I don't think he did. Now, no, he did get clear because Cody Ware is right beside me, and Truex has fallen behind as Chase Elliott has taken the lead now as they come through to start the final lap. Logano up on that outside. Elliott has to hold off the Penske duo of Keselowski and Logano. Then we got Kyle Busch and Hamlin right here through turns 1. We closed in a ton through the center of the corner, but we pay for it on the exit there as that was not a good corner for myself. Harvick pounces on the opportunity, gets to my inside as this final half a lap is underway. Chase Elliott looking for win number 10 of his career. He has 9 career wins. This would be a neat little milestone for Elliott here in the number 9 as he comes out of turns 4. Chase Elliott gets career win number 10 in Texas as we come through to cross the line in P7 just behind our teammate of Kevin Harvick. So Elliott with a slight little milestone for himself. There you see the finishing order on your screen. Quite a few drivers DNF'd as we had, I think, at least 7 cautions without the stage breaks here today in Texas. So definitely a lot of incidents there. Yeah, Joey Logano does have 1 win. So now there you see the top 10 in points. Now, certainly, like I said, after the race, we struggled with speed, but we got a great finish out of it because we weren't top 10 for most of this race, and then we fought back into that top 10 and got a very solid finish out of it. So I'm happy with that. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. We never had an incident with anyone either today because, I mean, we were just kind of in our own little world, it felt like, here in Texas, as the car just, like I said, didn't have the speed that we needed, but we just figured it out at the end and got a good finish out of it. If only we could run like that all race, and hopefully we can figure out a way to do that next time we come here in the playoffs. But now, obviously, next episode, we go to Bristol, where we got 2 wins already in our career. Last episode didn't go quite as planned, or not last episode, but last Bristol race. So we'll see, though. What we can do is we're 9th on the playoff grid right now. That's how weird things are shaping up to be when we're 2nd in points. But as always, I will see you guys in the next episode. So thank you all for watching, and have yourselves a great day, everybody.